By that measure. By that measure. Beats the G7. Beats the G7. Still dominant. Still dominant. A mix of things. A mix of things. The foreseeable future. The foreseeable future.
Welcome. Today we're doing a deep dive into Brics. It's this expanded group of, well, major emerging economies, and it's really starting to reshape the global order here in 2025. I mean, it started as just a Goldman Sachs acronym way back in 2001.
Right, just an investment concept initially.
Exactly. But now it's a tangible force, and it's pushing for a multipolar world, basically a world where power isn't just centered in one place.
Yeah.
So our mission today is to unpack all these sources you've gathered, give you the clearest picture we can of this evolving block.
Okay. And I think the first thing that really jumps out is the sheer economic weight. It's quite striking.
How so?
Well, if you look at purchasing power parity, the measure that adjusts for living costs.
Right. Gives a better comparison of actual output.
Exactly. By that measure, the combined GDP of Brics Plus actually beats the G7 now.
Wow. Exceeds the G7.
Yeah. We're talking somewhere in the ballpark of 37 to 40% of total global economic output.
That's huge. That's not just a small adjustment.
No, it's a fundamental reweighting. It really challenges that traditional sort of Western-dominated financial gravity, you know, the pull from London or New York.
That figure really does underline the economic shift. Okay, but it's not just economics, is it? The geopolitical side seems really interesting too, especially the expansion.
Absolutely. That's where you see the strategy, perhaps.
Since early 2024, you've got Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, Saudi Arabia, the UAE all joining as full members.
Quite a diverse group there.
And then Indonesia officially came on board early this year, 2025. That pulls Southeast Asia in more deeply.
Right.
But it doesn't even stop there. You see reports Belarus, Bolivia, Cuba, Kazakhstan, Malaysia. They're all looking for closer ties. What's the big appeal?
Well, it's a mix of things, obviously. Yeah. But I think fundamentally these countries are looking for, let's say, more strategic wiggle room.
Okay.
A more balanced global playing field.
Okay, options beyond the traditional powers.
Exactly. And that connects to the financial side. You mentioned this move towards using local currencies more within the group.
Yeah, the Chinese yuan keeps coming up. How significant is that, really, given the dollar is still dominant globally?
It is significant. It's not just about making trade easier, though that's part of it. It signals a really deep desire for financial independence.
Independence from what, specifically?
From potential Western sanctions, for one.
Yeah.
From geopolitical leverage tied to the dollar system. It lets them trade and hold reserves with, fewer vulnerabilities.
Okay.
And if you connect the dots, China's role here is pretty central. It's undeniable.
How so? Give us an example.
Look at Brazil. Major economy, right? It now exports more to China than it does to the U.S.
More than to the U.S.? That's a big shift.
It is. And it's not just a one-off statistic. It really symbolizes this broader realignment happening in global trade networks and supply chains. It's underway.
Okay, so we see this rising power economically, geopolitically, but it can't all be smooth sailing. What are the internal challenges, the complexities Brics Plus has to deal with? Where are the potential cracks?
Right, that's crucial. Because while the momentum is there, you have to look at the hurdles. It's important for you to remember, this isn't like the EU. It's not a unified trade bloc.
No common tariffs or anything like that.
Exactly. No common external tariffs. No really cohesive single policy framework. Getting consensus with such a diverse group, well, it's tough.
Because their national interests can be quite different.
Very different sometimes. I mean, look at the 2025 BRICS summit in Rio. Neither President Putin nor President Xi attended in person.
Right, that raised some eyebrows, didn't it? Questions about unity.
It naturally raises questions about internal cohesion, about unified leadership at the very top. But, to balance that out, look at the new development bank, the NDB.
The BRICS Bank, yeah.
It keeps growing. It's got, over 100 active projects now? Something like $35 billion in loans approved.
So it's providing a real alternative to, say, the World Bank or IMF.
It offers a clear, tangible alternative, often with maybe fewer political strings attached, focusing heavily on infrastructure, which these countries need.
So the bottom line for you is BRICS Plus isn't just an idea on paper anymore.
Not at all.
It's a real evolving platform. It's shaping global economic governance, and it's going to be a key player for the foreseeable future.
Absolutely. And maybe the final thought for you, the listener, is to consider how those internal dynamics play out.
That mix of strengths and weaknesses.
Exactly. That unique blend of collective strengths, like the economic weight versus individual national goals and those persistent structural limits we talked about. How will that combination ultimately shape its real long-term impact on the global balance of power? That's the question to keep thinking about.